You want to get on the action? We want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG @FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter @FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd. It's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with DNZ. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. I am Z, and here's how it goes. D and I give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy sits or red lights. We're going to start with our green lights first. Who you got, D? Who are your top 1, 2, 3?
All right, so my first green light is it's one you're going to like. It's the 49ers defense against that Giants offense with Daniel Jones and no Saquon Barkley. Yeah. Next up, I've got Kirk Cousins versus the Chargers. Kirk Cousins having an MVP type season. He's throwing the ball a lot. He's getting multiple touchdowns a game. He looks good out there. And my last one, if I've got Javonte Williams going up against the Miami Dolphins, I think he's going to have a big day. He's finally going to score some touchdowns. He's going to get a couple of passes out of the backfield, and he's going to do a great job running the rock.
Solid choices. Solid choices. I'm going with a lot of defense this week. A lot of defense. I'm taking the Ravens against the Colts. Gardner Minshew's good, but the Ravens defense is going to eat him alive and spit out the carcass. Number 2, I'm taking the Cowboys defense against the Cardinals. This seems like probably, an easy one, but the Cardinals, they showed they can move the ball. Expect Trayvon Diggs for at least one. Micah Parsons is going to get acquainted with Joshua Dobbs at least a couple times, and it's going to be a rout. And last but not least, I'm going to take the Steelers against the Raiders. Steeler defense came to play Monday night. They took it to Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. So 3 Ds across the board from me. Those are our green lights. Who are your red lights, D?
All right, so my first red light is going to be Joe Burrow against that Rams defense. We all know that calf is aggravating him, and it's going to be real aggravated when Aaron Donald lays on top of him. Number 2, I've got Mike Evans against the Eagles. Yeah, the Tampa's been doing good so far, but they haven't gone up against a team like the Eagles. And then my last one might surprise you. I've got Josh Jacobs against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is playing really stellar defense. They knocked Nick Chubb out for the rest of the season. I know that Jerome Ford had a good day, but I just have a feeling that Josh Jacobs is going to get shut down.
-9 yards. He finished with -9 yards. That's not good. I mean, I am a math teacher by trade. Yeah, negative numbers are never good. Unless it's golf, and we're not playing golf. So, I'm going to start with Deshaun Watson. He looked like absolute dog shit against the Steelers. Maybe that was just the Steelers, or maybe it's the fact that Deshaun Watson has regressed. He looked like a shell of himself. The 2 face mask penalties. Like, what the hell was going on in that game?
What are you doing, dude?
No. So Deshaun Watson looked absolutely lost on Monday night. So that is an easy red light for me. Number 2, I am going to go with Ja'Marr Chase, not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a symptom of the problem. The Ja'Marr Chase thing is also a symptom of the problem. 5 targets. That's not good. That's not good. There's no chemistry. There's no sync. So that calf injury is definitely having a ripple effect across this offense. So I would not start Ja'Marr Chase this week. And then, last but certainly not least, I would sit Adam Thielen against the Seahawks. Primary target, Bryce Young is hurt. Seahawks defense is good. He might be your wide receiver 2 or flex option. He's probably not going to even be worth that this week. Sit Adam Thielen. But those are our picks. What are your picks? Send us your green lights. Send us your red lights. faderoutemail@gmail.com. Drop us a line on IG at Faderoute Podcast, or slide in our DMs on X at FadeRouteDNZ. Time for us to run the go route again. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.